Task Force coordinators of Borehole Drillers Association of Nigeria, Anambra, inaugurated in Awka. Anambra workers charged to support Governor Soludo's administration through dedication to duty. Nigerian refugee returnees rise by 1,800. Sri Lanka hikes petrol prices as inflation spikes. My name is Obina. Monday sit-at-home has ended in Anambra State. Governor Soludo has fully restored socio-economic and academic activities with renewed confidence and sustained peace. Anambra is back on the path of progress and prosperity. Be part of the success story. Now the news in details. Payment of second tranche of arrears of salaries owed staff of defunct Anambra State Water Corporation will soon commence. Governor Soludo made this known while addressing Anambra State workers during the 2026 May Day celebration held at the Dr. Alex Ekweme Square, Awka. Correspondent Ngozi Obileri now reports.
According to Governor Soludo, he met the 17-year-old debt when he assumed office and immediately compiled list of those affected and paid the first tranche, and also cleared arrears of gratuity owed so many retirees who placed their hope on the bulk money to take care of themselves and their families. He reiterated that under his watch, every retiree will go home with their gratuity, while pensioners will continue to receive their payments every month. Governor Soludo, who spent time chatting and enjoying the day with the workers, reaffirmed his love for Anambra workforce, whom he described as the engine room of the government, but charged them to be diligent in their duties.
Let me thank the leadership of the NLC of labor, organized labor, NLC and TUC here in Anambra. I want to appreciate you guys, and I want to appreciate the detailed address that you have delivered. What do I say to it? Anugom. Thank you very much. Anugom. Well, we have to lift the boat for everyone. And when we lift the boat for everyone, the Anambra worker is the ultimate beneficiary.
From the Dr. Alex Ekweme Square in Awka, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
The Borehole Drillers Association of Nigeria, Anambra State Chapter, has inaugurated task force and coordinators in Awka. The chairman of the association, Sir Solomon Edet, said the aim of the inauguration is to ensure adherence to international best practices in borehole drilling through the maintenance of quality and integrity in the discharge of duties. Correspondent Chibuzo Bidike has a report on this.
Expressed the association's commitment to ensuring that all borehole drillers in the state uphold professional standards in their service to the people, noting that poorly managed drilling activities could disrupt the natural water cycle and create environmental hazards, including underground cavities capable of damaging the ecosystem.
We are very, very mindful of the quality of water we are giving to people, because we know the role that water plays in livelihood. That's why they say water is what? Life. And we are also mindful of our environment, because we know that the world was created and it has some certain level of stability. Borehole drilling is one of the things that destroys that stability.
Inaugurating the task force and zonal coordinators, Dr. Amasiani Rose, Hygiene Education Officer at Ruwasa under the Anambra State Ministry of Power and Water Resources, charged the team to remain dedicated to the core mandate for which they were constituted, assuring them of the government's continued partnership in ensuring that professional standards are maintained across the sector.
As much as we are trying to drill borehole, we must maintain safe practices and hygiene. Sighting of the borehole, we must check whether if the borehole is close to the soccer pit. Let's assume we have done that. It's not close to soccer pit. Maybe it's up to 30 to 100 feet above the existing borehole or close or the existing soccer pit. There are some sharp practices most drillers are doing anytime we go to surveillance.
In his paper presentation, Professor Stanley Udedi, a university don, enjoined members to remain professional in the discharge of their duties and emphasized that the importance of strict implementation of standards and adherence to operational timelines, noting that such discipline would enable relevant government agencies to demonstrate seriousness in regulating the activities of the association. Speaking on behalf of the task force, Engineer Onyeka Ezenwuba, the task force leader, appreciated the leadership of the association for the opportunity to serve and assured that the team will remain committed to maintaining quality service to humanity and would work diligently to uplift the association through excellence and dedication. The event also recorded the presence of security chiefs from the Federal Road Safety Corps, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and the Nigerian Police Force, who assured their unalloyed support in promoting safety across all sectors in the state. In Oka, Chibuzo Bidike, ABS News.
The chairman, Anambra State Local Government Commission, Barrister Vini Ifeanyi has charged Anambra State workers to be good ambassadors of the state wherever they are by abiding to the civil service rules at all times. Felicitating with workers on the occasion of the Workers' Day celebration 2026, Barrister Ezaka encouraged workers to do their best in support of the present administration and the state, since Governor Chukwuma Soludo has gone out of his way to provide dividends of democracy to Anambra. He noted that with full support to programs and policies of the state government, Governor Soludo will be in better position to bring out his lofty vision for the state. Barrister Ezaka said that though they are workers who do their best in discharging their duties, they are bad eggs sabotaging the system and warned those who are bringing shame to the workforce to desist from such acts for their own good and that of the state. Now, the number of Nigerian refugees who voluntarily returned home under a tripartite repatriation agreement is more than doubled in the first quarter of 2026, rising by 1,805 persons from 1,705 persons in February to 3,510 by April. This is internally displaced persons across the country surged by 160,795 in this period. The data is drawn from 3 successive forcibly displaced population dashboards published by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees for February, March, and April 2026. The data was published on the 1st of May 2026. The dashboards are produced jointly by the United Nations, the International Organization for Migration's Displacement Tracking Matrix, the Nigerian Immigration Service, and the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and internally displaced persons, drawing on biometric registrations, field assessments, and population profiling across Nigeria's displacement-affected states. All returnees documented are Nigerian refugees returning from Cameroon, Chad, and Niger Republic under a tripartite voluntary repatriation agreement, and all are returning to their areas of origin in Borno, epicenter of Boko Haram and ISWAP insurgency that has driven displacement across the Lake Chad Basin for more than a decade. The returnee count, which stood at 1,705 in February, jumped to 3,083 in March, increasing by 1,378. It rose further to 3,510 in April, adding another 427. The total increase of 1,805 returnees shows a 106% rise from February. In Sri Lanka, reports have it that it has raised fuel prices by nearly 4% on Sunday, further fueling inflation, which more than doubled last month due to the Middle East war. Since March, Sri Lanka has raised fuel prices by more than 35%, while gas and electricity rates have also increased by a similar amount. The island has also rationed fuel following supply disruptions. The state-owned Ceylon Petroleum Corporation increased the price of kerosene used by agricultural machinery to 265 rupees, equivalent of $0.85, and $85 a litre, up by 10 rupees. Petrol rose 12 rupees to 410 rupees. That's about $1.32. Diesel was up 10 rupees to 392 rupees. High energy prices pushed inflation to more than double, reaching 5.4% in April, according to official data. The Department of Census and Statistics said fuel and electricity tariffs drove up transport costs as well as food prices. The island has been slowly emerging from the 2022 economic meltdown when it ran out of foreign exchange reserves to pay for essential imports such as food, fuel, and medicine. The Confederation of African Football has announced the kickoff and final date for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, which will be co-hosted by Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. CAF disclosed in a statement issued on Sunday that the opening match will be played on Saturday, 19 June 2027, and the final on Saturday, 17 July 2027. According to the Continental Football Body, the date was approved by the FIFA Council at its recent meeting in Vancouver, Canada, adding that the host country for both opening match and final will be announced later. The tournament will be the first AFCON to be hosted by 3 countries. The development CAF said presents an opportunity to expand the competition's reach to over 400 million people in the East African region. The qualification series, CAF said the preliminary round has been completed with the draw for the qualifiers set to take place on the 19th of May 2026. A total of 48 teams, including the 3 co-hosts, will participate in the qualifiers, with the draw determining the pathway to the final tournament. CAF added that the 48 teams will be drawn into 12 groups of 4 teams each, with the top 2 teams from each group qualifying for the final tournament. Remember that you can follow news and program on ABS from any part of the world via our website on www.absradiotelevision.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on ABS Radio Television. Follow us on our social media handles at ABS Radio Television on Facebook, at ABS Radio Television on Instagram and X. Now back to the main point this morning. Task Force coordinators of Borehole Drillers Association of Nigeria, Anambra, have been inaugurated in Awka. Anambra workers have been charged to support Governor Soludo's administration through dedication to duty. Nigerian refugee returns have risen by 1,800. Sri Lanka has hiked petrol prices as inflation spikes. It's very important to know that Monday heat at home has ended in Anambra State. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has fully restored socio-economic and academic activities, which will need confidence and sustained peace. Anambra is back on the path of progress and prosperity. Be part of the success story. And that was the morning news at 7 a.m. this morning. My name is Obina. Do have a very positive rest of the day, but stay tuned as we bring you the Good Morning Anambra in a short while.